Okay, howdy everybody. Welcome to today's lesson. Again, disasters and the environment. We're looking at land pollution today. Okay, we're going to look at land and water pollution and then look at why we should be trying to protect the environment. Okay, so head up your page. Let's move on. Now, so first of all, a couple of notes to be made today again. What exactly is land pollution? So what is it? All right, so here we have a definition. Okay, kind of a little bit about the cause and also some other names. So land pollution is the deterioration or destruction of the Earth's land surfaces, often directly or indirectly as a result of man's or humans' activity and their misuse of the land. Okay, so again, you can already see it's the destruction of the land surfaces, mainly the surface, and indirectly or directly means it's either us doing something by accident or on purpose, and we destroy the Earth's surface. All right. Human actions have also caused many large areas of land to lose their ability to support life forms and ecosystems, and that's very important. One of the big problems with land pollution is we remove or destroy the soil and reduce its ability for things to grow and for animals to live there and so on. All right. Other names: physical pollution, soil contamination. Remember, to contaminate something is to kind of make it go bad. All right. Now, what we're going to do is, you don't need to write this. We're going to flick over and back between this and a worksheet. Okay, the worksheet has been sent to you. It's called Land Pollution. So if you can print that out and you can use your highlighter. We're just going to read through it a little bit, make sure we've had a look. But most information will be written down from today's lesson. Okay, so this is what the sheet looks like. So we're going to start off with land pollution here. Okay, so it's this sheet just here. Okay, it has land pollution at the top, and then it gives a little shorter definition again about degradation of Earth's land surface through misuse of soil. So it talks more about the soil layer. What you'll see is the causes of this type of pollution then. Okay, so we have soil pollution, waste disposal, and industrial activities. So these are the main three things that cause our land pollution. Okay, I'm not going to go through every word, all right, but you'll notice the first one talks about agricultural activities. So farming like to use chemicals called herbicides, pesticides, fungicides. All right, they're weed killers. They're used by farmers to increase crops or how much crop yields we can have, but they also pollute the land if they get down into the soil, which they inevitably do. Okay, bits of these pesticides in soil, these pesticides will stay in soils for a very, very long time. Okay, and they have long-term effects. A second type of pollution then is simple litter. Okay, litter is waste material dumped in public places, streets, parks, bus stops, everything. So again, both of these things, humans. Farming, we spray, sometimes we spray the soil, but mainly we spray the crops with pesticides, herbicides, fungicides, and they have a negative impact on the earth. Okay. A second one then is waste disposal, and this is like littering but on a much bigger scale. Okay, so every single day tons and tons of domestic waste. Now domestic means from your home, not from business or anything like that. So domestic waste is dumped, ranging from huge pieces of rubbish such as refrigerators to tiny bits of food leftovers. If all these wastes are not disposed of properly, the damage they can do to the environment and humankind can be devastating. Okay, waste decays or breaks down, all right, very, very slowly. It doesn't say that in here, but very slowly. So that means this waste can stay on the land for hundreds of years. Okay, plastic materials and so on, fridges, microwaves, TVs, all those kind of electrical stuff. Also, as this waste decays, it encourages pests and animals, okay, things we don't want to return to urban areas. It makes places very dirty and allows disease to spread. Okay, and it also creates an awful smell, these landfills. Okay, the accumulation of waste threatens the health of people in certain areas. So breathing in the air as all of this stuff decays and breaks down can be bad for you. The smell is awful and so on. So it actually forces people to move a lot of the time. Okay, in Nassau these things are called a landfill usually, where stuff is dumped. Now we have a landfill right in the center of Nassau as well, out near not too far from Bahamar, on the way to the airport. Okay, and again, that would be our domestic waste. So when the bin men come around and collect the stuff from your house every couple of days, that is all brought off and dumped in one place. Okay, so you can imagine how many bags of rubbish there are there after even just a couple of weeks. Okay, our last one then is industrial activity. So this is essentially a big list, but industries and factories also are also a contributing factor to land pollution. Okay, industrial waste. Okay, so what that is just like domestic waste comes from your home, industrial waste comes from factories. They're released or discharged from chemical industries, and look at a huge list of things here. I'm not going to go through every one, down as far as mining and nuclear plants, all right? Huge quantities, and this is the thing, industrial waste is on a much bigger scale. They produce a lot more waste than a single house would, okay? Huge quantities of these wastes are dumped on land, which can cause land pollution. Mining also affects the ground and surface waters and all sorts of life and vegetation, animals and soils. And I'll show you a picture of why. They leave huge big scars in the landscape that destroy the land, okay? Nothing can grow there again. So there are three major causes, okay? Now what we're going to do is jump back to our PowerPoint. Okay, just waiting for it to load up here. And we're going to write these little bits down. So you can do a subheading. What causes this type of pollution? The first one, we're going to write down farming or agriculture. Okay, spraying pesticides and fertilizers on crops can get into soils and water sources, causing a lot of pollution. Okay, so what you have is, you can have this on all sorts of scales, and this is the big one again. Got a picture here of an individual farmer spraying crops, okay? And then what else we have then on a bigger, look at the size of this farm here, on a much bigger scale. You've got machines like big tractors spraying huge areas of crops, okay? So most of the food that we eat now will be vegetables and stuff will have been sprayed by all of this. That's why you should wash all of your fruit and veg before you eat it. But if these fungicides or pesticides or whatever else get down into the soil, they can have bad impacts. Also, fertilizers are important. A lot of the time we don't use natural fertilizers anymore. We use artificial ones that again stop the soil from being overly effective. Our second cause then, domestic, is homes. Okay, waste from our homes is dumped every day, and this slowly gets into our soil and can destroy it. Nassau landfill is an example. Now this is obviously not a picture from Nassau landfill, okay? This is just a bit of a dramatic one, but you can see the huge big digger up here, all right? Massive, and the big piles of rubbish that build up, okay? Even simple littering builds up over time, all right? So if, again, we've all seen streets like this, all right? So this littering is by an individual, domestic is from families and homes, and then industrial, which we look at next, is from a bigger scale, okay? But again, you can see why places like the Bahamas are trying to get rid of single-use plastics and water bottles and plastic bags and so on, because that's what ends up on the ground. Okay, it's unsightly, it's bad for everything. Finally then, with industry, all right, chemicals and waste products from factories get left on land and can reduce its fertility, can kill the soil, okay? Mining is another industry which can leave huge scars in the landscape where nothing can grow. So again, this is an open mine is what they're called, okay? This is all, we've removed all the soil, all the good stuff, and nothing can really grow here anymore. So this huge big scar is existing. To give you some idea of scale, this is a road, okay? This would be a two-way road coming down here. You might be able to see just over here the big industry buildings, okay? This is a huge mine. Secondly then as well, you'll have this kind of waste pumped out of a lot of industries, and you can see the way it's kind of flooding the earth. It's causing some little algae and stuff to grow, but it looks like a wasteland again. Nothing is really growing successfully there, okay? And again, those chemicals could be toxic. If things did grow from this and we ate them, it could be toxic to our health, okay? That's all the causes. We're going to look at the effects in the next video.